to the square and to the television building, and as Rawi was just saying, to the presidential palace. And finally, this evening, an absolute explosion of joy. This wasn't really expected. People didn't dare to hope for this kind of development, bearing in mind how bitterly disappointed they were just a few hours earlier. But tonight, there really is a sense that the whole of Cairo has come out onto the streets. People have never seen anything like this in their lifetime. People suspect that they may never see anything like this again in their lifetime. And it's a night to remember, and no one wants to miss out.
Yeah, Jackie, there's flags, there's fireworks, it seems even green lasers as well. It's all part of the celebrations now. Jackie, appreciate that. Thanks very much indeed. All right, let's have a recap of what's been happening on this momentous day. President Hosni Mubarak has stepped down as president of Egypt after 30 years as the head of state. He's left Cairo and is said to be in the Red Sea resort of Sharm el-Sheikh. Following the statement from the vice president, crowds erupted in celebration from Cairo to Alexandria and indeed right across the country. History has been made, an unprecedented move by a sitting president forced out of office by the will of his people. And now in a development, Ahmed Musa, the Secretary General of the Arab League, has welcomed what he's calling a white revolution. There's speculation that he could run the Egyptian presidency. In a statement, the US President Barack Obama praised the non-violent resolve of the Egyptian people, which ultimately led to their victory. Reactions have poured in from right across the world, with leaders promising to stand by Egypt during this, its transitional period. US President Barack Obama says the people of Egypt have shown their resolve through non-violent protest.
This is the power of human dignity, and it can never be denied. Egyptians have inspired us.
Well, from Obama, recorded to Obama live, he's speaking once again.
As some of you know, Robert started very early with me on this wild ride that I've been on. I had run for the United States Senate. I was not expected to win. When I won the Democratic primary in Illinois, I realized that I was going to have to start staffing up a little bit. At the time, I only had, I think, 6, 7 people working for me. And I still didn't have a lot of money, so all I could afford was gifts. And so Robert came to work with me.
All right, clearly Barack Obama's on subjects other than Egypt, and let's go back to what he did say about Egypt a little earlier. We're hoping he will take questions about Egypt, but let's just listen to what he said when he spoke earlier.
This is the power of human dignity, and it can never be denied. Egyptians have inspired us, and they've done so by putting the lie to the idea that justice is best gained through violence. For in Egypt, it was the moral force of nonviolence, not terrorism, not mindless killing, but nonviolence, moral force that bent the arc of history toward justice once more. And while the sights and sounds that we heard were entirely Egyptian, we can't help but hear the echoes of history. Echoes from Germans tearing down a wall, Indonesian students taking to the streets, Gandhi leading his people down the path of justice. As Martin Luther King said in celebrating the birth of a new nation in Ghana, while trying to perfect his own, there's something in the soul that cries out for freedom.
But Barack Obama speaking a little bit earlier, as we saw just now, but he is speaking right now too, but he's not talking about Egypt, but we're hoping he will take some questions on Egypt, so we'll cut back to that as and when that happens. But let's stay with the United States. We can get some more reaction from there. We can speak to Hilary Mann Leverett, who served as a special assistant to the ambassador at the US Embassy in Cairo during the Clinton administration, joins us now from Washington. Hilary, what might be prudent at this point is just to explain why Egypt is so important to the United States. Why is that?
Well, Egypt really is the center of gravity for the entire U.S. strategy in the Middle East. It is the center of gravity for the Arab-Israeli peace process, which essentially has been the way the United States reconciles its interests in Israel and its interests in the Arab states, is by having an Arab-Israeli peace process. Egypt has been the center of gravity for that. Egypt has been a critical ally for the United States in our so-called war on terror, which has included this rendition program of sending Egyptians back to Egypt to be interrogated with